One thing is when you're living in the United States of America, there is a rule of law, within the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And one thing that's majorly different here than elsewhere is when you are accused of a crime, the rule of law says you are innocent until you are proven guilty. Now, lately, in the last couple of years, the way things have been going, it has been in the reverse. You've been guilty until proven innocent. And even then, by being proven innocent, you're not, how can I put it, your life is still over. Even though the evidence is with the one that's innocent, it proves that the other faction, either there's no evidence or the evidence was a lie or manufactured. But hey, listen, doesn't matter. But your life is over, and that's the wrong thing, the wrong thought to be happening here. Twitter is not the courtroom. The mainstream media is not your courtroom. Okay, the politicians that talk out about this, they're not in the courtroom. Now, some of them might, in the House, they might change the laws and regulations, and until that is done, the Constitution is still the Constitution, and it should not be violated. But yet, a lot of people have done that and basically have not been charged with anything to remedy that situation. Now, one of the major things out there has been the Me Too movement. And, you've seen a lot of men being charged, One thing, and I'll tell you this, a lot of these guys, yeah, they deserve the punishments that they get because, as creepy, as, disgusting as they are, yeah, they deserve it. But there's been a lot of people out there that have been dragged in, and that the Me Too movement has been used to cancel them. See, the one thing is you have to understand, and people don't, put this in your perspective. It doesn't matter whether you're male or whether you're a female. Both sides can be very vindictive. Or, revenge. They want to get revenge, or they're angered at the person. They want them to suffer, because they've been hurt by this person. And they don't deserve to have the life that they have. Their life should be destroyed. And this is the thought processes that has been going on for quite some time. We've seen this with Vic Mignogna. We've seen this with Johnny Depp and many others. Now, recently we've had Justin Roiland, who is part of the creators of Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites and a couple of other series that he has done. Now, a lot of people says he's not easy to work with. He's a SOB and all that. Understand that has nothing to do with the accusations on there. He could be a bad person as far as how he treats people, but on certain things, how can we put this? If you're accused of sexual charges because of his actions on his job, does not necessarily means that he is a sexual predator. Okay? Like I said, he could be a son of a bitch on one end, but it doesn't mean that he's that evil on the other end. Or he could be one or the other. Now, recently, there were charges of nature that basically he was charged with, he was facing 2 felony charges stemming from an incident back in 2020. And what has happened is that he has gotten fired from Adult Swim. He's gotten fired from Hulu. He has left the gaming company that he was part of. But just the other day, a court has dropped the charges in Orange County, mind you. An Orange County DA has dropped all charges against Justin Rowland. But before we start, before we read this off of Animation Magazine, I just want to thank those of you. We're about 670 on YouTube. Hopefully we'll get to 700 before the end of the year. I really do appreciate all of you out there for clicking on this video, liking, sharing, subscribing, and also commenting it. All this is important. It's all very important. And I really do appreciate all my viewers on there, whether you're subscribed or not. But hey, listen, today I hope I've earned your subscription. Once again, thank you. Charges against Justin Rowland dropped by Orange County DA. The Orange County District Attorney Office has dropped the domestic charges against Justin Rowland, co-creator of Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites, after an animation writer, director, producer, voice actor saw this dissolution of his working relationships with both Adult Swim and Hulu and resigned from Squanch Games, which he co-founded in 2016 due to the allegations. Kimberly Ed's spokesperson for the DA office explained that the case was dismissed as a result of insufficient evidence to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. Rowland was facing 2 felony charges stemming from an incident in January 2020. He had been arraigned and released on bail in October of that year. A hearing on that case has been previously scheduled for April 27th. In a statement posted to his Twitter account today, titled Justice, Rowland asserts that his charges were based solely on the word of an embittered ex trying to bypass due process and have him canceled. I've always known that these claims were false, and I never had any doubt that this day would come. He writes, notably, he is deeply shaken by the horrible lies circulated in the wake of the complaint. An investigation by the Hollywood Reporter uncovered other allegations of inappropriate workplace behavior and a sexual harassment incident during the production of Rick and Morty Season 3. Rowland adds, now that the charges have been dismissed, he is determined to move forward and focus on both of my creative projects, restoring my good name. Now, here's the thing. Could we be seeing a lawsuit against Warner Discovery and Disney and Comcast? Warner Discovery are actually the owners of Adult Swim. Disney and Comcast, who happens to be partial owners, which Disney's, I think they have 70% of Hulu. They have ownership in the Hulu streaming app. Do we expect to see this? Do we expect to see a lawsuit against the person who filed this charge? Which is, it's not unheard of, because basically we saw what happened with the Johnny Depp case, which he had to sue his former wife for all the things that she's done, and she was found guilty. And this is coming back on appeal, not on her, on him, where basically they kind of split, where he had to pay a little bit, and I think that's going to come back and be discharged as well. And this is the thing. Understand, everybody. As much as you think that someone is like I said, is a son of a bitch, wait for the evidence. I mean, you want to make an opinion? Oh, that's okay. It's fine and dandy. But understand this. Before you crucify somebody, know if he did the deed. Because that's what's been coming out lately. And we've seen this in the past. And this goes back way back to the 80s. We can go back all the way back to the Tawana Brawley accusations, which turned to be false. Then there's coming a little bit more forward, the Duke Lacrosse, and there's been a couple of others. And and the thing about it is, everybody slammed the men in this. Not saying all men are innocent. You have to understand is that innocent until proven guilty. Because sometimes the woman can be very scornful and wants revenge, because maybe they had a separation. She did not like how the separation happened. She's upset that the man is with somebody else, and now she's going to get revenge on him by lying. And this has happened. We've seen this. We've seen this. I mean, you could pick up a movie on Lifetime. There's always some movie on Lifetime that's the story. And you say, well, that's fictional. I say, yeah, you're right. But some of those Lifetime stories are based on true stories. Some of them. Or, watch an episode of Dateline. You continue to file charges I mean, hey, listen. Whether you like Trump or not, look how many times, the allegations that he's gone through, and they find that it's been false. Now, just the one recently. The one just recently out now. I know it's something different from the situation, but this is to the point. When you make an accusation, you better have the proof. Because if you're there just to fucking, because you don't like the person, you hate them, and you hope that their career ends, you're ruining someone's life. And you need true psychological help. Because that is what is needed. That is obsession. That's obsession with somebody. Move on with your life. And the same thing with the people on Twitter. Those who continue to comment on there saying that, oh, this one's guilty of this one's guilty of that. Well, how do you know that they're guilty? Well, a friend of a friend of a friend said it, and they have the proof. Has it been in the court? No. Well, then it's not proof. If it was proof, it would be in a court. And to this day, there have been many people that have been charged by people on Twitter of crimes, and it hasn't gone to court. It's not that the courts haven't looked at it, is that there's no evidence to the fact. You can't bring something forward without evidence. It's facts and evidence. Most important thing, innocent until proven guilty. So we'll see what happens now with Justin Roiland. What's going to happen to the Rick and Morty, Solar Opposites, and what's the other? Koala Bear or Koala something? Koala Man. See what happens with those shows. I mean, in a way, Justin can go after them for these lawsuits. And the thing about it is, these companies jump to conclusions. Now, I understand if you want to suspend him temporarily until things are settled, that's the best way to do it. But to fire them and say like, hey, we don't go against, we don't like this in our company, blah 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 blah. But then when they're vindicated, you got egg on your face, and now you got to deal and pay back what is owed to him on his contract. So we'll see further upon this. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Should he sue? Should he not? Should he just move on, do something else? So don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.